All right. What's going on, guys? Ray Yerg's back here. Just saying update. Episode 15. And in episode 15, we're going to cover week one of NFL recap. Give a quick breakdown. First, before I get jumped into the NFL, I did want to talk about the men's tennis US Open championship. Great matchup. I mean, that was a fantastic match, 5-setter. You can't ask for anything more than that. You always want to see that in the finals of a championship match, getting into the fifth set there. And Thiem and Zverev sure looked like that neither of them wanted to win the championship. I mean, Zverev had many chances. He was up 2 sets. Thiem had chances, and he gave it back to Zverev. Zverev had another chance. He gave it back to Thiem. Just kept bouncing back and forth. And but it was a great match. Congratulations to Thiem. Rightfully deserved it. He was already primed, ready to get it, being in 2 finals matches in the French Open. So congrats to him. He definitely deserved it. Zverev's got to really rebound from this mentally and be able to recuperate and mentally prepare himself to try and get back to a championship. It's always going to be difficult, especially when you reach your first one. So hopefully it doesn't scar him mentally going forward. So I like to see him get one too. He's a hell of a tennis player, but congrats to the team. Rightfully deserved it. Aside from that, all right, week one NFL recap, and what a tremendous week one it was for sure. The football couldn't have felt better coming back finally. We already had got off to a good start on the Thursday night game between the Chiefs and the Texans, and the Chiefs are just really primed, ready to defend that championship. Well-oiled machine. They added a great dynamic with the running game. But time will tell for them. I like to see them going forward to see against, I don't really count. I talked about this before. I don't really count the Texans as being that great. I'm not high on the Texans. The Texans will be good when they get rid of Bill O'Brien, and that's a fact. But Chiefs playing some better teams going forward. It'll be a really test to see how they pan out against that. But man, they make it look easy. They looked really good. It's gonna be really hard to beat them and defending Super Bowl champs for sure. But moving down the list, got some notes here that I have wanted to talk about. And the first one I'm going to jump into is the Browns. I'm sick of people slurping on the Browns. Listen, the Browns are the Browns. They're going to continue to be the Browns. I don't know why we keep thinking that the Browns are going to go anywhere or get any better or do anything in the division that they're in. They have 3 other teams in that division that are really good teams. Okay, and yes, I know the Bengals are in that team, but they are going to be a better team than the Browns will be at some point in the future, maybe even sooner than expected, especially this year. Joe Burrow is a much, much more talented quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I have never been high on Baker Mayfield. I know Colin Cowherd always criticizes Mayfield, and I'm right there with him. I don't see it. I don't understand it. Mayfield coming out of Oklahoma, I've never been a fan of him coming out of Oklahoma. He just sits. He's back there. He is just moving too much, moving around. You don't know what kind of quarterback he is going to be. He tries to be one guy. He tries to be Russell Wilson. He tries to be Drew Brees. He's always bouncing all over the place. He can't make throws accurately. He is not talented. And then today, I mean, they got blown out 38-6. They got blown out against the Ravens. It wasn't even close. And everybody's high on the Browns. And I just can't stand it. I can't take it. The Browns have talented players on that team. Very talented players. OBJ is just a distraction. He has never, I bet you he wishes he was back on the Giants having Daniel Jones thrown to him right now. I think he fully regrets that decision. Um, I think the Browns would actually be better without OBJ. I actually think the Browns would be really better without Baker Mayfield. I really think they should throw Case Keenum out there. Case Keenum has experience with Stefanski. Okay, they went to the playoffs together with the Vikings. Came damn near close getting to the conference championship game. Um, to the Super Bowl. Damn near close getting to the Super Bowl. Okay, they had a great season with Case Keenum in that year, and I think he's much more matured. He knows his identity. He knows what he needs to do as a quarterback to win football games, and Baker just does not know. He's having issues. I know he's on his like third or fourth head coach, and that doesn't help. But the Browns have a long way to go to do anything in that division. You got to get above the Ravens, and the Steelers. It's just not happening. It's just not. Browns again. They're gonna 6 wins, 5, 7 maybe. Just don't see it. Don't see it. I'm tired of people slurping on the Browns. They're one of the highest bet teams again to win the Super Bowl, just like last year. And where they get them? What they were 8-8, 7-9, something like that. Stefanski needs to man up and go with Case Keenum. He knows what Keenum can do. He witnessed it. He was with them with the Vikings. If they put Keenum in, they have a better chance of winning games. And that's a true statement. They have a much better chance of winning games. And probably get OBJ in the mix too, to be honest with you. So, Ravens, I don't really have anything to say on the Ravens. We all know what they're going to be. I'm more interested in talking about what the Browns need to do in order to get over that hump. Okay. My Colts, I don't know, man. Everybody wrote off the Jaguars coming into this week, selling everybody, getting rid of everybody. I can't even name one player on the Jaguars other than Minshew. If you can tell me, and Mac, but like if you can tell me somebody other than that, I'd be impressed. But the Colts have defensive issues yet again. And it seems to be a recurring issue with the Colts on how they have poor defensive schemes that lets these wide receivers just run all over the field and become wide open. The secondary is terrible. I thought they improved on the linebacker side. Clearly they didn't. They let in the second half, they just let the Jaguars just run all over them, threw the ball all over the place, and it was like they were running around with their heads cut off out there. Extremely disappointing. For the Colts to only put up 20 points against this Jaguars team is even more disappointing than what the defense didn't do. This offense they would look like they were ready to roll and pushing the train forward, and yet they couldn't even do anything. Several drives in the fourth quarter. Phillip Rivers is gonna. We all know he's gonna throw picks, but you can't be making some of those passes. Ty was a non-factor. Man, it is just hard. And then they lost. Now they lost Marlon Mack for the season with a torn Achilles apparently. So Colts are actually in a lot more trouble. On one of my early podcasts in the season, I did have them winning the division, but not a very impressive week one coming out of this. They got a tough game against the Vikings next week. So, man, this could be in a quick 0-2 start because Vikings need that win next week because it'd be a quick 0-2 start for them too. So, Colts off. This was a must-win game for the Colts, and they completely faltered. And on a betting angle, look to take Whoever's facing the Jaguars are going to be on the high list for Vegas next week. So I'd be looking to fade the Jaguars for sure because they'll be on the they'll be getting a lot of love. They'll be getting a lot of love. Um, Listen, I said it on Sunday during a couple of times. I had tweeted out. I put a video out there. Tom Brady. I said it in many of my podcasts. I said it many, many times. He's 42 years old, guys. 42 years old in a new offense. They're overrated. They are overrated. Give me 1 second here. Just putting this out here, putting a quick tweet out. All right. All right. Listen, Tom Brady, 42. Gronk was a non-factor. Looked like an old man out there. Tom Brady moving to this division, in my mind, was a huge mistake. Everybody was high on the Buccaneers. I've never been high on the Buccaneers once. I keep saying they're not a playoff team. They're 9-7 at best, 8-8. Listen, you move him to Tampa Bay and you put him in a division with 3 other really, really talented teams. Okay. And one being the Saints that have been dominant in that division for many years. Okay. This isn't the NFL. I mean, the AFC East. This isn't the Dolphins, the Bills, or the Jets. This is the Saints, who have a Super Bowl winning ready team now. They have the Atlanta Falcons, who were in the Super Bowl 3 or 4 years ago against the Patriots. They have a Carolina team who still had several players in the organization, who has an MVP running back who was in the Super Bowl years ago. I know Cam's not there anymore, but Carolina still puts talent out on the field. Okay. And they did this weekend. Teddy Bridgewater, they have a high explosive offense. This is going to be very difficult for Tom Brady. This isn't the AFC Cupcake League anymore. This is the NFC, who has real talented teams who fight week in and week out and could have like 10 teams in a playoff hunt. Okay. And only 6 can get in. Okay. They are going to have a lot of trouble with their schedule against really good teams. You can go up and down the list of the teams in the NFC, and it is difficult. Okay. Tom Brady, the offensive line looked terrible. I don't care. Tom Brady threw another pick 6, threw an interception. I know everybody's saying, "Oh, Bruce Arians' offense, they always have high interception rates with the plays that they run with Tom Brady." That is not Tom Brady like. Tom Brady doesn't throw interceptions. Okay. In the offense that he was in for the last 20 years with Belichick, it just doesn't happen. Now you're going to see him get exploited. Okay. And it is not going to be good. I bet you Jameis Winston laughing on the other side of the sideline, and during that game being in the Saints uniform, I bet you he was laughing his ass off inside. They're not a good enough team to win in this division, let alone this conference. They just aren't. And to bring in a 42-year-old quarterback just does not help that team with the amount of talent they have on that offense. Brady should have hung it up. Belichick is probably laughing right now. I know it's only week 1. I understand it's week 1. But the Patriots looked like they didn't even miss a beat. They look exactly like they were the last 20 years. Well-oiled machine. It's painful for me to say because I can't stand the Patriots. It's painful for me to say that. But they look like a well-oiled machine. Okay? Well-disciplined. And it's like they just did not miss a beat. It's going to be difficult for the Buccaneers to get anywhere in this conference and in this division. They have a tough schedule. They're playing really good teams. I said it before. I'll say it again. They're not a playoff team. They're just not. They're just not. They'd be lucky if they make the last spot of the wild card. They'd be extremely lucky. I can make a whole show about the Buccaneers. Some of the other notes that I have here that I wanted to talk about. I did mention about Pats and Cam during that during the Buccaneers breakdown. So I won't talk much about that because I can't stand talking about the Patriots anyway. So we'll go on that. But Arizona Cardinals, man, the Arizona Cardinals for real or what? They looked really, really impressive against the 49ers. I just couldn't tell if it was a mix between the 49ers just Super Bowl hangover, and they did lose some key players, or is Arizona really that good? Their offense looked tremendous. They moved the ball well. Kyler Murray was extremely, extremely accurate, and really, I mean, he got the ball to Hopkins. I think Hopkins had like 150 something receiving yards. But not only that, the defense looked really good against the 49ers too. The only thing that you wonder about is it's Jimmy G, and he didn't look good, and he doesn't really look good a lot of the times. He really doesn't. So for them to play the way they did, big win for the Cardinals. Arizona is another team in the NFC West that's going to be really tough. I mean, they were kind of a problem last year in certain situations in certain games, but you got 4 really good teams again in the NFC West that it's going to be fighting for that division. It's going to be a battle for them. So we're going to see what happens with the with them. But Murray looked exceptionally well. Obviously, Hopkins looked great. Jimmy G, I mean, they moved it down the field. They had a chance to win it. They were in the red zone, and it's just that he goes with those mental mistakes again. There was a guy wide open in the left side of the end zone, and said he didn't see him when he was cutting across. He went to the right side, threw it out of bounds. Then in 4th and 5, didn't throw the ball where it needed to be. Threw it behind him. Threw it too late. Didn't throw it soon enough. So it was just a complete disaster for the 49ers. So we're going to see how they rebound this week coming up. Let me see here. All right, let me get that. Had to fix that there. Bear with me. Just bear with me there. All right, let's see. Ian. So I did like the Arizona in the second half. I did went in on a halftime show on that one. Somebody asked, "What do I think about the Cardinals?" I did like what I saw. I did take them on the second half, so that was a good winner there. Just checking some scores real quick. Tough to see here. Don't get old, guys. Don't get old. Anyways, so Cardinals look good. 49ers could be a Super Bowl hangover. We'll see how they move forward. See how Kyle Shanahan responds next week coming out. But defense, I mean, Arizona, like I said, has an explosive offense. So they're on the defensive side of the ball, and it's kind of what you expected. They're gonna when they play really good offensive teams, they're gonna be kind of tough to stop them. But would have expected a little bit more out of the defense for sure. Panthers, tough loss for the Panthers. that fourth down play, you got to give the ball to McCaffrey. You can't be giving it to the fullback. That's a learning experience for the head coach, rookie head coach in the NFL. You got to trust your best player on the field to do what you need to do in those situations. You can't be getting cute. You can't be getting pretty and trying to make things happen out of nothing and handing the ball off to the fullback when you have McCaffrey, MVP running back. You got to give them a shot. You got to give them a shot. You got to feed them the ball to get that first down in that situation to extend the game to try and win it. Rookie head coach mistake definitely falls on the play calling. You can't be giving it to fullback there. Can't be giving it to the fullback. You just can't. But both sides of the ball, both offenses were moving good. Vegas, I mean, I don't really have much on Vegas. They we'll see how Gruden goes out with the third year head coach there. See if they can improve. They did improve last year, so seems like they're headed in the right direction. Sticking with Carr, so third year, I'm pretty surprised, but they did pay him a lot of money, so that's why. Not too much more on that game though, but like I said, got to give the ball to McCaffrey. He's your best chance to win that game, so you got to give him the ball in those situations next time to give your team a chance to win. Packers. Wow. Packers. Aaron Rodgers shut up a lot of people, it seems. A lot of people. You give Aaron Rodgers a stadium with no fans, and I think he's just going to eat, and eat spoonfuls. I mean, jeez. His throws were pinpoint accurate. Moved the ball around, got everybody involved. Defense could not stop him, especially that Vikings defense. It looked like it wasn't gonna work out for him at the beginning of the game because of those couple of red zone stops from the Vikings. Their red zone defense was amazing and held them to no touchdowns. But then all of a sudden the floodgates opened and Rodgers just picked the freaking Vikings apart. I mean, jeez, man. These no fans in the stadiums, I think, are going to play a huge factor onto the road teams. The road teams are going to have an extreme advantage on winning these games with no fans, no crowd noise. Makes it a lot easier for someone like Aaron Rodgers to just audible out of play, complete communication with his whole team as to what he wants and what he needs to do. And this is going to pick them. It's going to pick and exploit teams like that can't handle it. Rodgers, no doubt there. No doubt in my mind there. He's got a point to prove, and he's going to do everything he can to prove it. For real. Got a couple more games to break down. We're going to take a quick 30-second break, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back here real quick on the show on a couple more game recaps here to talk about. Man, so won't spend too much time on the other ones. Cowboys continue to stumble against the team who's really not really that good on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, I know Darnold's the best pass rusher in the league, and Ramsey one of the best corners. But I mean, outside of that, they don't really have anybody. And the offense moved the ball really well for Dallas. It was a great scheme, but Dak still made those same type of mistakes sometimes. not getting the ball to his receivers. Probably some bad things on the wide receivers especially when Gallup had that, and he pushed off Ramsey a little bit to move down the field and try and get in a field goal range. Oh man, that was a tough call. And boy, did that cost some people some money if you had the over on the 282 passing yards or 85, whatever it was for Dak, because that was putting them over. But they continue to sell some coaching decisions. I probably would have kicked the field goal on the 4th down. Some people say that it was the right call. I get it. 50-50. It's a tough one. It could have went either way, but I would have kicked the field goal, take the points when you can. But the way the kickers have been in the NFL, actually, who knows if he would have made it. The kickers have been terrible. So it was a roll of the dice. But extremely disappointing for the Cowboys. A lot of people obviously eyeing them to win the Super Bowl. And they just didn't really look good. Especially against the Rams defense, because Rams offense was bad, so the Cowboys defense was really, really bad. But yeah, couple more. 2 more games get a break. Wanted to mention and talk about. Steelers got off to a slow start last night, and then they looked really well. Big Ben settled in right back to his old ways, throwing the ball really well to the wide receivers. Snell looked really good after Connors went down. Man, they just find running backs like a dime a dozen. It's amazing how they can find those. But Steelers look good. Very impressive there. Other than that, last game, Seahawks. Russell Wilson should be requesting 75% ownership in the Seahawks on his next contract because he's the best player in the NFL, hands down. I don't care what anybody says. It's amazing to me that he's yet to win an MVP award. He's the best player, best quarterback. The way he throws the ball is the best spiral throw that I've ever seen. He puts the ball in the exact position that his wide receivers need it to make the catch every single time. In the way how he can extend plays, scrambles, runs, throws, every aspect of his game amazes me that he has 0 MVPs. 0. Okay? He puts the Seahawks, if he's not on the Seahawks are not a playoff team. They're not. They're 6-10, 7-9. It's amazing what he does on a weekly basis. He should have like 4 straight MVPs right now. And it blows my mind that he doesn't even have one. Because the whole point of the MVP was the most valuable player on your team. And he is arguably the best player on any team that you put him on, whether it's the Seahawks or any other team you put him on. If I'm him and his agent, I said before it should be 51% ownership. I want 75% ownership of the Seahawks going into my next contract. That's what I would be demanding. Seahawks roll against the Falcons. Falcons seem to be not who we thought they were, but they were playing. I mean, obviously they're playing the Seahawks. Seahawks are playing the Patriots this week, and that's going to be a great game too. It's going to be it's going to be a hell of a week for the Seahawks. See, that's going to be the game of the week. I think I'm going to have that penciled in. See what they can do against Bill Belichick and the Patriots there. But I'm just saying until I turn blue in the face. Best player in the NFL, hands down. Man, it's good to watch. It's fun to watch him play, man. It's fun to watch him play. But other than that, broke down some of the games. I'll spit off just a couple other things. Eagles disappoint. They have a bunch of injuries. No surprise there. Burrow looked amazing in the last drive. It's going to be a hell of a quarterback. Disappointing for the Bengals. That was too bad. They probably really should have won that game. But tough call in the end zone there. But Chargers got lucky. But if I'm the Chargers, I wouldn't be playing Tyrod Taylor. I'd be putting in Herbert. Uh, you drafted him 4th overall for a reason, 5th overall for a reason. Throw him out there, put him right in. Dolphins, same thing. Tua, week 2 starter. Got to be. There's no question about that. And the last game, Titans, Broncos, it was blah. I've watched the first half and it was just okay. Kickers suck. I decided I might actually go into the NFL because I feel like I can't do any worse than the kickers that are currently in the NFL. So I think anybody should have a tryout right now. I think every team should have open tryouts, and we should all go and do it. We all should get paid a few, hit some field goals when necessary. You only got to be hit 1 of 3. I think you're good. So, couple of the games I didn't talk about all last game. Bills, Jets, Bills, Pats are going to be the 2 top teams in the division. Jets suck. They're terrible. Adam Gase needs to go. Can't believe that he's still head coach. He's no good. Le'Veon's going to be out now. Jets are just a world of mess. Bills look great. Defense looks great. Josh Allen, when he runs the ball, though, got to hold on to that football a little bit more. Can't be fumbling that ball like he was. Other than that, I pretty much talked about every game. Hope you guys enjoyed week 1 recap. I'll be back next week with the week 2 recap. And I'll also be back on Sundays on the NFL Picks show. It's going to be the Just Saying NFL Picks show. It's going to be on around 12:15 on Sundays. It's going to go down. It's going to be 10-15 minutes. I'll just go down some of the games from my Pick 6 contest. And those will be the games that I'm going to be giving out. So please join me in then. And don't forget to go subscribe, like, retweet, everything. You can find my podcast everywhere. Really appreciate the support. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. Any way I can improve, leave a comment. Don't be shy. Leave a comment, tweet at me, do whatever. And I'll get back to you. But you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your week. We'll be back in a couple of days. We've got a Thursday night game this week between the Bengals and the Browns. I love talking about the Browns, as you see at the beginning of the show. So stay tuned on that. Enjoy it, guys. All right. Take it easy.